programming for the community. How can computer programming be used to help communities in need? Hello, I'm Felipe Monsalve, this is Esteban Rey, and we are teaching kids how to program.
Although we know you saw the video like 20 minutes ago, we think it's awesome, and you were probably all asleep by then. So our program is actually titled Clase POB. It actually comes from Clase Programación Orientada a Objetos. We do realize that's not actually the acronym. We actually realized that about 6 months after we started the project. So the acronym would have actually been this, which does not look good.
Okay, so
if you have any ideas for the acronym, because we already have the page set up, please tell us.
Okay, so before we start, we want to know some things about what you know. So, do any of you know what is programming? Nobody knows what's programming. That's okay. Who knows? Please, go.
Or writing code or computer software program.
Yeah, that's. Anybody else? He said it very good. So, what can programming be used for? Yes.
To make websites, applications.
Perfect. Yeah, that. You are much better than the people we asked to in Colombia. Now, when we asked this question back in Colombia, when we were prepping for this, nobody raised their hands. One person raised his hand. His answer was not that good, and yeah, it wasn't accurate at all. So that's you're much better than them, fortunately. So, what is programming really?
So, as he did clearly say, programming is writing code. However, what you actually do in programming is not just the code. You can now program with like drag and drop. However, the programming part is pretty much making your computer do something by giving it instructions in a specific language. So what kind of programs exist? Your OS is a program, games are programs, Photoshop is a program, Word is a program, all of those are programs. So we're trying to teach children how to make them. So far we actually had them make a calculator. It wasn't this beautiful, but it was a calculator.
And it would work, it was really fun, they learned a lot, and that's the main idea of the program. So we're trying to tackle. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I woke up today. I didn't have a voice, so yeah, you'll forgive me for that. So what are we going to try to do? We're tackling two main global issues. The first one of which is education for all, and the second one of which is digital divide. What is a program? So we started the program in our home city. It's Medellin, Colombia. It's a beautiful city, the most beautiful city in the world, and you have an opportunity to go there next Latin America June. So we started teaching people from both Caicedo and Carmen de Viboral. You probably don't know where that is, so we're going to explain that. Caicedo is a very troubled neighborhood in Medellin. Now, it's got high criminality rates, low education, it's got trouble in general. So that's what we're trying to tackle. This is Caicedo right here. So you can find it there, you can also find it here, and it has a high criminality rate. This is a map showing like criminality throughout the city. So this is basically white spaces don't have too much crime, black spaces have much more crime. And this black spot in the middle, that's Caicedo. So we can see it has high crime. Now, you can imagine low education. It's not a very fortunate neighborhood. And that's why we chose Caicedo and not any other neighborhood. So this is what comes up when you look Caicedo in Google Images. That's what comes up. So you can see like it's a lot of police cars, violence, other stuff, which we don't want Caicedo to have. We want for Caicedo, it has a bad reputation. We want for Caicedo, if we look up Caicedo in 5 years from now, we want to see, or 10 or 20 years from now, we want to see something different. We want to see maybe technological advancements or other stuff other than this. We want to see a nice place, and a place where people want to go. And then we come to Carmen de Viboral. Carmen de Viboral is a rural municipality, so 25 kilometers from the city. Now, it's a long place from the city. These children have to travel a long way to get to our school to learn programming, but they do. They do and they love it. And that's what we are trying to make them, we're trying to make them love programming. So what is Carmen de Viboral? How is it? It's a town. It has 43,237 people back in 2009, according to a survey we found. This is a map of Carmen de Viboral. It's a beautiful place. This would be Medellin, and this is the area where Carmen de Viboral is located. It's beautiful, and it has some beautiful crafts, beautiful ceramic work. But its economy is mostly dependent on agriculture and ceramics, and we're trying to get that to shift, to teach them other techniques so they can advance towards other more developed technologies. So how did we actually start the program? That's a very interesting story, Esteban.
So we wanted to program since we were much younger. However, we were looking for programming teachers, and for like a year we couldn't find anyone. There was nobody available. Everybody was like, "You're not in university, you can't learn programming." So we were like, we want to learn programming, and we started to search for options in other countries. Felipe ended up in a summer camp in Stanford, and I ended up in one in MIT, and we were taught basic programming. It was very basic, but we did learn something, and we got a lot of interest from it.
Now that's I think, the most important thing. Something has to cultivate on. If we're trying to make a real impact on these children, we have to motivate them to really want to learn programming. Not only teach them, but get them to have a drive towards learning programming. That's the main thing we're trying to do with our program.
After searching for a teacher when we got back from the camp, we managed to find one after 6 months of searching. So even though we had the resources to pay the teacher,
and most importantly, the contact. We had contacts, we searched through so many places, and we found one. And the resources, as Esteban said.
Yeah, it was very hard to find a teacher. So once we did find a teacher, we were like, well, who else can find a teacher this easily? The poor children do not have this opportunity. Most don't even know programming exists. They know what a program might be, but just because they have like apps, but they don't really know what that kind of thing can provide for them. So what can programming actually do for the community or for the people who learn?
What are the benefits of programming? Do any of you have any idea what programming can do for our community in need?
Jobs.
Any ideas? Yeah, it can create jobs, for instance. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes.
Education.
Education. Certainly education. Anybody else? Yes.
It teaches you how to think.
It teaches you, yes, that's very important. It teaches you logic. It teaches you so many things. It teaches you how to think, how to think clearly, how to think logically, and it will help you in so many ways. Yes.
It makes the city advance.
Yes, it'll make the city advance. Yes.
Income.
Income for many people, like for the children who are learning it, which might in the future have programming jobs. It'll create income for them. It might create extra income for companies who need and can't have programmers. Yeah, it'll do so many things, and this is a real thing. It's an estimate, of course, but it's estimated that almost 12,000 job offers were given to programmers in Medellin in 2014. Now, 5,000 of them were filled. This leaves us with 7,000 vacant spots in Medellin, which is really troubling because there are people looking for jobs and there are companies looking for programmers. So we need to teach these children programming so they'll get a job. And that's basically the idea. We can't have a city which doesn't have enough programmers, and we can't have people out of jobs. So we started to think and we said, why not start a program which teaches kids programming?
Yeah, so what are we doing? Right now, what we decided to do is, we got 31 children, that's how many children we have actually taught. Although we've had trouble with them, some of them left because of schedule shifts in their schools.
Now, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if it's the same here in Mexico, but back in Medellin, back in Colombia, schools usually have double shifts. So we'll have a morning shift and a night afternoon shift,
and sometimes a night shift.
Yeah, sometimes they'll even have a third shift, so that they can save on school spendings, and that's not good for anybody, but they do it, and it's a reality. What can we do? So many people had to switch to afternoon shifts, and it was terrible for us. We lost a few students, but we got some new ones, so that's good.
Yeah. So what we did is, we have all these children. They come from Carmen and Caicedo, which Felipe explained earlier. And they actually have to come in buses. The ones from Carmen actually take nearly an hour and a half just to get to the school. Most of them don't really ride in cars or anything. So initially, many of them came and they were super nauseous. I'm not sure if that's the word for it. Anyway.
Yeah, they were dizzy. They were tired from the bus ride, and they were having trouble. But they're much better now. They're happy. They want to come to the class. They do their homework. They do everything. And they're great.
They're the ones I'm teaching. The ones from Carmen. They're 9 to 10 years old. The ones he's teaching are 11 to 13.
Yeah, it's something like that. And they learn fast. They're great. They're cute. So let me have the clicker. I'm going to show you. This is what we are doing. These are the kids. You can see they're really cute. They're small. They are just absolutely quiet kids. They're respectful and they like the class. That's the most important thing. They like to learn how to program, and that's what we are doing. So to move on, we want every one of you to get the iPads on your table and open them up. They should be open with this webpage. This is a webpage we created for the class.
You may also use your phone.
Yeah, if you want to use your phones, go ahead. It also works for phones or iPads. If you have a computer, go ahead. Yeah, okay. We connected you a while ago, but it looks like we're disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're there, you'll see, try to look for the first activity we're going to do is a Java interpreter. Try to look for a Java interpreter down, mid-page, below everything, below the video.
Java, there. Compile Java online, if you can go.
Oh, here, go down. Okay, let's try to below this. Here. Yes. Go. we put this link today so that you could get it for the presentation. So if you don't have it, just reload the page and it should appear right there, below the video. Okay, you got it. I'm very glad you got it. So,
¿Listo?
okay.
Sí. ¿Cómo se llama clase acá? Clase de
Okay, so okay, so
Small activity for you.
okay, so wait up. First of all, we need you to compile, press compile, and then press execute. It's two buttons up, compile, then execute.
¿De dónde?
You have a green screen on the bottom of your page. That should be the console. That's where everything that we do is going to come up.
Yeah.
Should say hello world.
Yeah.
Hello world. If you compile and execute, hello world should appear in the console. Try to do that, every one of you. Who's having trouble? Okay, let's go. So, let me see. Yes. Let me see. It's just compile. That's it. Don't try to, guys, don't try to write anything. Don't try to write anything on the green, on the console, on the green space in the bottom of the page. Nothing will happen. That's where the output is going to come. Or in some cases you could write in there. No, don't. We're not going to do anything right in there. So don't write in there. We're going to write on the white space on the top. So now every one of you should see something that says system.out.println. And something will appear in parentheses. Hello world will appear in parentheses. We want you to change the message that is in quotation marks. We want you to change it. And see what happens. And compile and execute.
Instead of hello world, you can print whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Just put something in quotation marks. Who's having trouble?
Audrey, programmer right here.
After you do it, you need to compile and execute. So the
Again?
program will run again. Yes. Yeah, you need to put quotation marks. Hey, you need to put quotation marks. If you don't put quotation marks, there will be an error. We have been working on this around a year now.
Look at me. I'm a coder. I know what I'm doing. I'm coding. Compile, execute. That's right. Future.
So, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Hey, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Who's having trouble? Nobody's having trouble. Everybody did it. That's great. So now, everybody did it. You see that basically what you're trying to say there, what you're saying to the program, to the computer, is print me out this message. System.out.println is a code which will print out anything you put inside the parentheses. So that's what you're trying to say to the computer. So what we said before, programming is giving orders to a computer in a certain language. You are learning right now the language you need to know in order to give orders to a computer. That is how you program.
One more thing. If you have system.out.println hello world. If you were actually to repeat that line, you would also have the thing print twice. In this case, we are using something called a loop to do something like that. A loop pretty much means something that repeats itself. So, In this case, this controls the loop. We just want you to write that above the system out of println and whatever message you have at the moment. And then remember to have these keys.
Now, unfortunately, we won't have time. We have so little time. We won't have time to explain this for live. We just want you to explore with it, to try it, change it up, and then say us what you think it does. And we'll basically guide you through it. We want you to have a basic idea of what this does. But we won't be able to go through like we do with our children to explain how it really works.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, here it's very important.
For this part,
It is
you will change
extremely
the numbers.
important. You must leave everything intact how it is. Just put a space, put a backspace, and put this line in. It's very important to put these things.
Brackets.
What number?
Whatever you want.
No, it doesn't matter as long as these brackets are surrounding the system.out.println. As
And
long as
do we write 4 as well? Like
Huh?
That's fine. Just any numbers with these.
Yeah,
We just
like-
want you to actually test what happens depending on the numbers you use. So try to test several configurations.
just write this line down exactly as it is. Exactly as it is. Open the bracket, put the system.out.println, and then close it. You need to do it exactly as it is in the computer. Don't try to change it up, then we'll let you change it up.
okay. No, it's okay if you go.
Do I have
Do you do space?
space I?
Space zero.
No, not 0. Equals
Lowercase
Semicolon.
I.
Wait,
Is greater than 4.
Okay.
Semicolon I plus parentheses.
Plus, okay.
Parentheses. Close parentheses.
The normal parentheses.
Yeah, close.
Okay.
And then super.
No. Oh, okay.
This is just what we're using today. This is Java 8.
What's the difference between
They have different. There's also ones that are like
Yeah,
Hi, it's me again, the coding master. I'm already done with my coding.
doesn't change. Compile execute 3 is the one. Try to change the numbers.
We can roll numbers. Should we look at some Should we change everything? This time. Let's see.
yes, I can help you. No, this is very important.
Me parece súper interesante. Okay, I have had computer programming in my school instead. Horrible.
Ok, estoy como struggling un poquito, pero
De verdad.
todo bien. Es que yo no entiendo como que, la razón por la que cada cosa va
Que
te digo,
only,
tienes que
only to
aprenderlo, ¿no?
move like the thing, like move the.
Es como que
Tiene que
debería
hacer
funcionar
para mover.
compile.
Pero es impresionante cómo.
¿Cómo pueden cómo hacer Photoshop, entiendes? O sea, como
Sí.
que el nivel de programming como que para ir a Photoshop. Good, we are writing our code here. Cool. We're trying to print out our code. ¿Lo logré?
Show me.
No me salió, creo.
Great. It prints your name 4 times. Change the number.
I can
The
choose
first
like 4.
Whichever you want. See what happens.
Compile.
Have you ever coded?
¿Qué pasa? Se rompe como uno. Error, va a salir error.
No sale nada porque hay menos. The code. The master, the code master.
Okay, is everybody ready?
Write something, write something.
Yo.
Oh, yeah, sure.
A ver. ¿Qué dice?
Compile, execute.
A ver qué pasa. ¿No salió nada?
Alright, is everybody ready? Is everybody ready for the first program? It's still okay.
Go, Michelle.
All I'm sending you is my Gmail. I'm not doing what you guys are doing. You guys are doing this. I want to know about the campus.
Let me see something. Let me see something.
Yeah, I live near City.
Coding.
You guys said to do that, so I didn't say anything.
You said it was.
She doesn't even know what we're talking about.
Compile, execute. Did run. Yes, it worked.
What did you change?
I checked this. So did you actually change this?
Hello world.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's it. You can change it. We have a hello world.java here. It must be exactly the same thing right here. So I just changed it up to match what it said here, and that's it. I by world 4 times. That's how many times it should run. Try changing these numbers and see how many times it prints.
5,000.
Oh my god, put like 90.
Like a huge
90?
number.
Okay. 100.
100.
Whatever, same thing.
No, it's not. Should we go higher?
Just do like 90,000.
Or 2,500.
Change the word.
No, do like 5 million.
Okay. No.
4,500.
Okay, yes.
We crashed that.
No, but let's change the
Yeah.
word, like the thing instead of by world.
Nearly. Describe Julie.
Do it like a million times.
Can you see it?
Having fun with programming.
Programming at its best.
Okay, so have you tried experimental changing of numbers? Okay, now what you see here? Hey, excuse me. Give me a second, please. I can't shout too hard. I'll get my throat. Will start hurting, so I don't want to shout too hard. But basically, if you change the 4 or the 0 in this line of code, you're gonna change a counter. And this counter, what it basically does, it starts changing I. So I becomes. It starts at 0, it becomes 1, it becomes 2, it becomes 3, and when it becomes 4, it is not less than 4, so it stops. Basically, this counter starts moving until it reaches this number. So if you for instance put 0 and 4, it would go up once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times before it met the number 4, and it stopped. So it would print out hello world 4 times. If you start, for instance, with 5 and 10, it would run once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then it would stop. And that's basically what we're doing in this line of code. We're setting up a counter and making it move, making it go up until it reaches this number, and then it'll stop. And that is how you make a line of code repeat itself several times. You could, for instance, ask the user to input one of these numbers, and then the user could decide how many times hello world prints out. And that's basically what we're trying to do with this line of code. So then we're gonna okay, go on.
You can even have loops within loops. So you could loop something like billions of time in theory. Also, any small change in a program can do a lot of differences. For example, if you were to change this, remove the ln after the print, all of this would be printed straight together.
In a straight line. Now, hear me out, because this is really cool. Try deleting the ln at the end, and you're gonna see it print out a straight line 200 times, 20 times, 5 times, saying the same thing. Try doing that in a second. Yes?
But for what do you want,
Está como printing algo, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se mueve? No, ya empezó. Está printing.
You know what? If you get like number 5 times, 4 times, 3 times.
Ya, es que no.
So you will find 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can.
Highlight reel.
¿Por qué te está grabando? I don't know what we touched.
We're not trying to understand.
You just want to run the page.
Well, you know the computer programming.
And you see the code line, how you change it to like 4 and it's a repeat.
Yeah, how many times is your name repeated?
And can you explain us
We could put it like 100 times, 1,000 times, 2,000 times.
And then will explain us what you do with code line number 3, right? What does it mean?
Can you try it?
Yes, me.
Did it?
How many times that your name repeated?
Wow.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. We got a few minutes left, so we're going to try to close off the presentation, and then we'll go back to a few more activities if we have time. This is mine. Yes, this is mine. It's a sticker. Thank you so much. So, hey, we're gonna try to come back to this if we have time, but we want to explain funding. Funding was very important. So, at first, we got a few funding sources. Now, yesterday we got a notification from a new funding source. You might have heard that in the assembly. We got the prize for ASA Global Citizenship Award, which gives us some funding, and that is great for the program.
We were actually nominated by the school to do this because of the program we created. So the director of the school had to send this thing, and then we got some money back for funding the program because we need to like pay for the transport of the students. We cover the expenses for the food, but other than that, it takes a lot of funding.
Okay, so then we have Fundación Columbus School. That is our school's foundation. It helped us start the program. It has helped us with funding. And now, this program doesn't seem very expensive. We're using the school's computers on. We're using everything from the school. However, bringing the children in buses from Carmen de Ural and Caicedo to our school is not cheap. It does require some money, and that's why we need a lot of funding. And the Fundación Columbus School has been a great help. So that's one of the others. And finally,
we also have the Marina Oil Foundation, which they provided the kids. They actually are the ones who manage the institutions where the children study. So they have like the schools, and they initially had some programs in the area. So when we proposed our program, they decided it was we proposed the program to them, so they thought it was a good idea because we kept on insisting, and eventually they did accept the program and it got into their curriculum.
Yes. Now, to end the presentation, we want to hear from all of you. Did you learn what is programming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like somebody who hadn't raised up their hand in the beginning. Somebody new want to explain?
La experta.
Yes.
Coding, like giving instructions to the computer.
Yes, that's exactly what programming is. It is giving instructions to the computer for it to do something, through coding. That's very good.
And what can it be used for?
Jobs for kids. Opportunities.
Yeah, it's really good.
Education.
Yeah, that's already good. Like,
Bueno, for the kids.
yes, go. Huh?
Logic, like, it will.
Video
Oh yeah, it
games.
will make you think more logically. It will make you think better. I'd say.
I really am video games. Oh, yeah.
So then, to end the presentation, we want to invite you to GIN 2016 Medellin, Colombia. It's a beautiful city. You will regret it if you don't go. Really, like, it is so cool. It is so cool. You need to go. It's GIN 2016. It's in our school, and it is an extremely beautiful campus, and you need to go. You really do. So, GIN 2016, remember, write it down. It is March 10th through the March 12th. And you, like, really, we are expecting you. So, now that we're done, we want to go. We have like 3 minutes, so if you want to try the activity we had back there,
Yeah,
the last activity, you can try it.
This
So,
one.
here, you declare, now, what's 5 divided by 2?
5.5.
Okay, that's what you would expect a program like this to say. Say, you're declaring a variable, you're saying I will be equal to 5. And then you're saying J is equal to 5, which I divided by 2. What should J be?
2.5.
2.5. Okay, try this.
Try it.
And try to print out J.
Yeah.
Try to print out J. And tell, if you want, we have 2 minutes left. Try this and tell us what is printed out.
You may delete. Yeah, you may delete the loop.
Code master.
Unless you want your number to print out.
It's his turn now. To shine.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Do we erase everything?
You may erase it. You can't do it after all of it because these thingies they outline like the end of the program. So when you like delete them or anything, it pretty much means it's not working.
Okay, so we have to erase everything.
Delete the 4.
Like delete this the for loop, or you could write it below the for loop, and then it would just print it like. It works.
I have a question.
Doesn't have to look okay.
Ajá. Abajo.
We start by teaching. Sure, we start by teaching variables.
It's
then
time. Can you
proceed
please
to.
So, our presentation appears to be over. If you want to keep looking at that kind of stuff, you can always visit our website. I'll upload this too. You may clap.